Virginia was really close in 2023, really close to breaking through in several games. Will they do it this year? Will they win some of those close games? Will they maybe get to a bowl game? We're going to go game by game with predictions. First, just some thoughts on this Virginia team. You look at the roster. I mean, they're not the most talented roster. They're definitely in the bottom half of the ACC, but they've got a lot of experience coming back. I like the running back room. I like the defensive line group. Those are pretty solid. Everywhere else, they're okay. Again, this is one of the bottom teams in the ACC. Really curious to see what happens at quarterback. You've got Tony Muskett, who's more of a veteran, and then you've got Anthony Calandria, who played really well as a freshman last season. I've seen different predictions. I've seen both guys predicted as the starter, so I don't know how it's going to go. We'll find out, I'm assuming, as we get into fall camp. But they probably will both play, and that gives you two options, two guys that are solid. And again, it just feels like this program is building in the right direction. They're heading in the right direction, being so close in several games last year, and they'll have an opportunity to maybe win some of those close games this year. And who knows? Like I said, maybe get to a bowl game. Vegas not so high on this team. The over/under at 4.5. It's a pretty difficult schedule, so I think that's pretty fair. You look at, and when I say difficult schedule, it's difficult for a team like Virginia. I mean, they do play. This is very respectable non-conference schedule. They play Maryland, and they play Notre Dame. That's obviously going to be tough, and also Coastal Carolina on the road. So yes, this is a pretty tough schedule for a team like Virginia. I think they do start off with a win over Richmond, so a 1-0 start. And then it's Wake Forest on the road there on September 7th. This is going to be a Wake Forest team that I think is going to be improved a lot. I think they're going to be one of the more improved teams in the ACC this season. I think this one will be tough on the road. I think Wake Forest maybe a little bit too much on offense. I'm going to go Demon Deacons in this one. Virginia takes a tough loss there. Then Maryland the next week on the 14th. Again, this is a Maryland program that's just ahead of where Virginia is right now. It's at Virginia. I think it'll be competitive. I think they'll have a chance, but I think it's another close loss, and it drops them to 1-2. Coastal Carolina next on the road. This is a game that the Virginia teams of the past few seasons probably would lose, but again, I think they've kind of turned the corner and they're headed in the right direction. Remember, they were very close against James Madison last season. This year, I think they get it done. They get a big win over a very solid group of 5 team, and this game again is on the road. But I'm going Virginia. I think they get the win to improve to 2-2. Boston College up next. Very similar team to Virginia. I look at these rosters. I think they're very comparable. This is one that really could go either way. But I think Virginia, again, we talked about those close losses last year. They're going to break through and win a couple of those games this year. I think they get through in this one. I think they beat Boston College, get their first win in the ACC, and improve to 3-2. And then it's Louisville next. This is going to be a tough one. I think Louisville is the better team here. It's at Virginia. They should be playing with some confidence after a couple of wins, but I got to stick with Louisville. So Louisville wins this one. And then you've got Clemson next on the road. No chance here for Virginia. Clemson's going to be really good this year, and that's a tough place to play. I don't think that one's really all that close. Then you've got North Carolina, a big opportunity for Virginia to get a big win. If they're going to get to a bowl game, they probably have to win this game, or it'll be tough. This is a big one for Virginia. North Carolina just is a more talented team, though, and I think that talent's going to show in this game, and I've got to go with the Tar Heels. So Virginia drops that one. Then they get Pittsburgh on the road November 9th. The more I look at these teams, the more I break these teams down, I think Pitt might actually be the worst team in the ACC. Maybe Stanford's in that discussion as well, but Pitt's not going to be good, and I think Virginia capable of going on the road and getting this win. And again, these are the strides forward that they need to make. They need to win games like Coastal Carolina and Pittsburgh on the road. They need to beat a team like Boston College if they want to continue to move in the right direction. Notre Dame going to be tough next on the road, just like the Clemson game. Don't really see that one being all that close. I think Clemson and Notre Dame, the only two games, though, that you could look on the schedule and say, yeah, Virginia's not winning those games. They've got no chance. I think every other game they've at least got a chance to win, and I think they'll pull off one big win. I think they're going to get a big win somewhere. I like SMU. I think they're going to be a very good team this year, potentially a top 25 team. But again, I think Virginia is able to get a big win somewhere. I think this is it. They upset SMU and get to 5-6. If it's not SMU, maybe it's North Carolina. But again, I think they will get, maybe Maryland even. I think they will get a big win somewhere. And then Virginia Tech, a chance to get to a bowl game if they can beat them. I don't see it happening. Virginia Tech just we talk about Virginia being a pretty experienced team. Virginia Tech's going to be really experienced, and they're a more talented team. Plus, they're playing at home. Really no reason to go with Virginia in this one. Got to go Virginia Tech. Gets them to 5-7. Not quite to a bowl game, but close. And again, moving in the right direction. I think they can build off of that, and maybe in 2025, it'll be a bowl game for this Virginia team. Give me your predictions for Virginia down in the comments below.